Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So let's get going with that. Where now in Hector shall we, Hector, find a manly form without a manly mind? Is this, O chief, a hero's boasted fame? How vain without the merit is the name! Since battle is renounced, thy thoughts employ what other methods may preserve thy Troy. 'Tis time to try if Ilion's state can stand by thee alone, nor ask a foreign hand. Mean empty boast, but shall the Lycians stake their lives for you, those Lycians you forsake? What from thy thankless arms can we expect? Thy friend Sarpedon proves thy base neglect. Say, shall our slaughtered bodies guard your walls, while unrevenged the great Sarpedon falls? Even where he died for Troy, you left him. Even where he died for Troy, you left him there, a feast for dogs and all the fowls of air. On my command, if any Lycian wait, hence let him march and give up Troy to fate. Did such a spirit as the gods impart impel one Trojan hand or Trojan heart? Such as should burn in every soul that draws the sword for glory and his country's cause. Even yet our mutual arms we might employ, and drag yon carcass to the walls of Troy. Oh, were Patroclus ours, we might obtain Sarpedon's arms and honoured corse again. Greece with Achilles his friend should be repaid, and thus due honours purchased to his shade. But words are vain, let Ajax once appear, and Hector trembles and recedes with fear. Thou darest not meet the terrors of his eye, and lo, already thou preparest to fly. The Trojan chief with fixed resentment eyed the Lycian leader, and sedate replied, Say, is it just, my friend, that Hector's ear from such a warrior such a speech should hear? I deemed thee once the wisest of thy kind, but ill this insult suits a prudent mind. I shun great Ajax, I desert my train, 'tis mine to prove the rash assertion vain. I joy to mingle where the battle bleeds, and hear the thunder of the sounding steeds. But Jove's high will is ever uncontrolled, the strong he withers and confounds the bold. Now crowns with fame the mighty man, and now strikes the fresh garland from the victor's brow. Come through yon squadrons, let us hew the way, and thou be witness if I fear today. If yet a Greek the sight of Hector dread, or yet their hero dare defend the dead. Then turning to the martial hosts he cries, Ye Trojans, Dardans, Lycians, and allies, be men, my friends, in action as in name, and yet be mindful of your ancient fame. Hector in proud Achilles' arms shall shine, torn from his friend, by right of conquest mine. He strode along the field as thus he said, the sable plumage nodded o'er his head. Swift through the spacious plain he sent a look, one instant saw, one instant overtook the distant band that on the sandy shore the radiant spoils to sacred Ilion bore. There his own mail embraced the field bestrode, his train to Troy conveyed the massy load. Now blazing in the immortal arms he stands, the work and present of celestial hands. By aged Peleus to Achilles given, as first to Peleus by the court of heaven. His father's arms not long Achilles wears, forbid by fate to reach his father's years. Him proud in triumph, glittering from afar, the god whose thunder rends the troubled air, beheld with pity as apart he sat, and conscious looked through all the scene of fate. He shook the sacred honours of his head, Olympus trembled, and the Godhead said, Ah, wretched man, unmindful of thy end, a moment's glory and what fates attend. In heavenly panoply divinely bright, thou stand'st, and armies tremble at thy sight. As at Achilles' self beneath thy dart lies slain the great Achilles' dearer part. Thou from the mighty dead those arms hast torn, which once the greatest of mankind had worn. Yet live, I give thee one illustrious day, a blaze of glory ere thou fadest away. For no more the Andromache shall come, with joyful tears to welcome Hector home. No more officious with endearing charms, from thy tired limbs unbrace Pelides' arms. Then with his sable brow he gave the nod that seals his word, the sanction of the god. The stubborn arms by Jove's command disposed, conformed spontaneous and around him closed. Filled with the god enlarged his members grew, though all his veins a sudden vigour flew. The blood in brisker tides began to roll, and Mars himself came rushing on his soul. Exhorting loud through all the field he strode, and looked and moved Achilles or a god. Now Mesthales, Glaucus, Medon he inspires, now Phorcys, Chromius, and Hippothus fires. The great Thersilochus like fury found, Asteropaeus kindled at the sound, and Enomus in augury renowned. Hear all ye hosts, and hear unnumbered bands, of neighbouring nations or of distant lands. 'Twas not for state we summoned you so far, to boast our numbers and the pomp of war. Ye came to fight, a valiant foe to chase, to save our present and our future race. Excuse me. Tore this our wealth, our products you enjoy, and glean the relics of exhausted Troy. Now then, to conquer or to die prepare, to die or conquer are the terms of war. Whatever hand shall win Patroclus slain, whoe'er shall drag him to the Trojan train, with Hector's self shall equal honours claim, with Hector part the spoil and share the fame. Fired by his words, the troops dismiss their fears. They join, they thicken, they protend their spears. Full on the Greeks they drive in firm array, and each from Ajax hopes the glorious prey. Vain hope, what numbers shall the field o'erspread, what victims perish round the mighty dead. Great Ajax marked the growing storm from far, and thus bespoke his brother of the war. Our fatal day, alas, is come, my friend, and all our wars and glories at an end. 'Tis not this course alone we guard in vain, condemned to vultures on the Trojan plain. We too must yield, the same sad fate must fall, on thee, on me, or perhaps, my friend, on all. See what a tempest direful Hector spreads, and lo, it bursts, it thunders on our heads. Call on our Greeks, if any hear the call, the bravest Greeks, this hour demands them all. The warrior raised his voice, and wide around the The warrior raised his voice, and wide around the field re-echoed the distressful sound. O chiefs, O princes, to whose hand is given the rule of men, whose glory is from heaven, whom with due honours both Atrides grace, ye guides and guardians of our Argive race, all whom this well-known voice shall reach from far, all whom I see not through this cloud of war. Come all, let generous rage your arms employ, and save Patroclus from the dogs of Troy. And with that, we come to the end of the episode. Well, the end of the reading, at least. Yeah. Yeah, we've still got plenty to do. We've actually still got some drawings to finish off, and I think the last drawing we did was Re, which is her backwards, I think. Anyway, Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night, no matter what time of day it is. I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.